Alright, hello everyone, welcome to Desynced. Now it's episode 6, I believe. We made a long episode last time. I'm gonna try to not make that happen just as long this time around. Why don't we actually duplicate this and call it super, not assemblers, right, but super robotic assemblers. There we go. And then, of course, we need different components here. Switch component to this one. Ah, that's great. We can even like... No, it actually changes up the registers, but we can just flip it around like this, and everything else should be the same. Right? Let's slot lock the first thing. No, we need to prepare. We don't know ahead of time because of the different recipes. But just this should be enough. So, why don't we build it? How do you actually... Oh, of course, that must be from the B menu, right? Super robotic assemblers. Here we go. Fantastic. I don't think I can set this up already. Everything needs to be ferried here first. Right. So, first off, fix slot to this one. That's what we need to make. I guess I could sort of copy things over here, right? Paste it here, this one, there we go, paste it here and here. And 30 seconds, you know, I'm happy with that. I guess we now know that we need... oh, that was wrong. Not infinite, 40 is gonna cut it. Could we not actually just copy this, go over here and paste it here? We get the wrong number, but I like the concept. Oh, there we go, that should be good. Begin requesting now. And this one here should make these forever, right? There we go. Lock this slot. Okay, we won't need any more than that. I guess I'm ready to paste this building down. We need it here, and we need it here, and we need it here. And then this building here can easily be marked for deconstruction. There we go. Right. And we're off. Maybe it's going to take a little while to make that, but doesn't matter. Let's research something. Nanobots. That should be done quickly. Nanobots actually, that requires the thing that we're just now beginning to fabricate and make. But it's fine, we're in no rush, right? And we will need to make new components soon. I can see that no, they're down here, there are some. Not a lot though. But we should expand out here. Oh, we should mine this stuff. I guess we sort of automatically will, because it's very, very close to where we have our miner bots, as is. I guess that's perfectly fine then. How's research going? Oh, it's done. There we go. We can utilize our advanced nanomachine technology to initiate self-repair protocols. These nanomachines will work in unison, effectively repairing systems and structural integrity. At its current level, it will not be enough to repair the advanced mothership systems, however. It is a good step, first step, and this technology will be useful to our units on the planet's surface in the meantime. I don't really believe that there's very much to this. Portable transporter is maybe the more interesting new component. Well, at least we're storing it now. Let's make the next thing as well. Repair kits. I don't see why not. Even if we don't need many, having them on demand seems very desirable to me. And we're lacking metal. These buildings, everyone is processing ore, so metal should be flying over, and this transporter is really just trying to move everything as fast as it can, and you know, it's going as well as it can. You can basically mouse over this metal ore block to see how fast everything is being depleted. we will need one more thing. This one as well was new, right? Yeah, I think so. Right, make us those forever. Good. I think this is gonna be enough. Pretty much the whole thing is done now. This little item transporter is basically the equivalent of what this beacon is. It can do the same thing, at least the beacon and its internal item transporter. If I'm not mistaken, there isn't really a difference in the capabilities of these. It still has a range of 1, and it's maybe more expensive, but other buildings can then do the same thing too. I haven't actually seen much of any clever use for this because the problem is that if a building like this one over here and this one over here, let's imagine that there was like a massive row of buildings. It's my understanding, and I could be wrong, that if there were intermediate item transporters at every step of the way, that they don't know how to sort of grab an item from here and pass it on to the next free step. Like if I just have a building, like a teleporter that is in this spot could not grab from here and paste it here, or leave it here. And like with this one, wouldn't know to take from here and leave it here if they can't actually fulfill the task. So you sort of have to have intermediate logic set up to want to store everything at every spot along the way, which, you know, I guess you could. Yeah, I'm not fully sure how. I have some vague ideas. Not a lot. I won't. I will. At least I won't begin working with those at this time. But this take is basically done. There's another one here that could be very interesting to work with. And we have all the stuff we would ever need for that, right? Whatever mining crystals up here is still good. We don't even have any miner Mark IIs for it. Meaning this is gonna go slower, and we are eating all that we could desire here. Because not only are these plates consuming everything, we will stock up on them. But oh yeah, these two. But if it is time to go to this building here and just you know, one of these could make a miner Mark II. You know, I think we could use 2 of them. And it's gonna take a little while. We don't at all have the resources for it. Someone is working on that, of course, but patience is a virtue at this time, especially when they have to fight with all the manufacturing of not only these but the research as well. There's nothing else to do. I can tell that we need to fabricate 5 new things, right? So why don't we sort of get ahead on that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not happy with that. Can we? Oh, I can do it here. Oh, and that's gonna. You know, I want it to be here, but I'm not sure I like the consequences of this because now we're storing here, and who is actually someone there? This building is in the logistics network, and this guy is any other No, there would be more lines if they were storing anything over there. And this one is for crystals, right? Okay, we simply need to move the storage. I'm not sure that there's any other way to go about this. I don't see any reason why it couldn't just be here, you know? And what that means is that this guy here, yeah, he's transporting the stuff. Even though he could store it there, why don't we just say store it here? Well, we can't actually, because it just isn't built. Well, no problem for me. We can begin setting up all of these. Now we can make the advanced turrets. I think I showed in an early episode that that was a little gunner component that we had available to us. It might still be nicer to make the cheaper ones. This one definitely takes up way more resources, right? Blightstorm event. Can we... What if I switch Blight? Not under components. I guess I never got to see what that was about. Medium capacitor, even bigger. Fantastic. I mean, right now many of these are just upgrades to what we have. Medium power field is probably the most significant one. Yeah. Pulse laser, bigger turret, way more beefy. Just so I recall, I set everything to infinite. It seems like I did. I'm happy. Alright, this guy here. There was someone up here who was storing stuff. Where's he right now? He is there. Can you pause? Yes. Please store here from now on. This guy, please store here. Okay? Now everybody should help that building empty its contents. Fantastic, because then this building can just get disintegrated. Everything's good. We're happy. Right, anything else to produce? Oh yeah, wind turbines. See, that's the new thing here. We love wind turbines. What they do is make power like solar panels. I hope I'm not confusing everybody too much with that statement, right? But the very big draw of that is that suddenly you can actually have power at night. And you're not, well, as much beholden to having lots of batteries. Which is, it's still nice to have batteries, like, no doubt about that, but maybe if you could save your efforts, that would be convenient. Hope that makes sense. To manufacture this building, I think we would want to have this one here. No, what am I doing? We should abort. I can still unpause, but the way to do this is under buildings. I'm creating a new blueprint based on the medium socket here, and I'm happy to have it have a little portable power field and then the wind turbine. That's really it. We can call it wind power. Anything else that could be interesting to have here? No, I don't think so. Like, they could each have their own shield, but why waste it? They could have capacitors. I'm not sure. I don't care. Wind power. That's good. We could call it Mark 1, just like we did with solar. Makes sense to me. Good. Now, we can build buildings and wind power Mark 1. Place it all the way down here. We're in no hurry with this. Especially because right now there actually aren't power problems. So it's better to get this going now before anything else becomes a problem later. Right, research is done, right? Any other problems? Everything's here. Maybe we would want, you know, a new, instead of Power Pole Mark 1, we could go into blueprints and sort of say, create a new blueprint. This one here would be based on this and needs to be Power Pole Mark MK2. Why? Well, because now we need this medium power field, right? There's nothing else to this. It's perfectly fine. We can begin using that now. I actually wanted to have this building here because I think it's sometimes valuable to have buildings that can only store one instance of a component, to store excesses in a little storage building further away. And sort of the same thing here. I want them stored here and here. And this one also only stored to one, right? So I want them stored here and here. Anything else that only store to one? I don't think anything. No, not anything urgent. I'm happy with the state these things are in now. I have space for another thing later, if relevant. Good. And we're not producing these fast enough, right? No one could ever agree to that, I hope. So why don't we begin upgrading? It's going to be a smaller one, and we can say super fabricators, right? I think I need to design the blueprint first, though. So default this one here, and then this one here, and then this one here, and yeah, I'm gonna be patient for a while. I just don't have the metal. Everyone's on it. Rich crystal chunk depleted. I am surprised, and that means that what we have here is going to run out fast. How did those two miners come along? Oh, here. They should actually sort of rally at the same spot. I forgot to do that. But, you know, why don't we say that this guy aims at that? And this one does too. Now they both can think of crystals forever. That's what a crystal miner is. You can get going and yeah, you will fetch stuff down here. I don't care. It's not a problem. But once you're ready, you will go back up here to store it. We could begin expanding over here to sort of solidify our claim to all these resources. Maybe it's good to do that now before it becomes too much of a problem. How about a medium power pole? Let's see how far that expands. If nothing else, scattered resources will be roomed up. Alright, we are good. Everything is sort of made, and now it's time to research the final thing. Except we're gonna have a problem now. Maybe this episode can be all about fixing that. We're already 15 minutes in, so maybe it's not as easy as it sounds, but to even begin having anything done properly, I think it's time to make a twin pot. No, a cup. Yeah, a cup's fine to begin with. I'm not sure what I want him to have yet, because we're sort of going to solve that as we go. Oh, it's the signal reader he has here. I wonder why. Can you please store that and have that there? That's fine for me. You know, if nothing else, if you don't have anything else in your socket, you can be a battery, okay? I'm so happy that you're gonna do that. Where is this guy? Oh, he's mining crystals. Totally happy that he does that. Good. Is my cup done? No, we're waiting for these guys. And why? Well, it's clearly because we're waiting for these guys. And that is because we're waiting for metal. And that's because we're waiting for ore. It's all coming down to this, right? And, you know, it's really going as fast as it can, given the miners we have. So what's it time for? More miners. Power field. See all this juicy metal out here? And maybe also up there, right? And there's more here. Not a lot, but there is more. Maybe just a small power pole at this spot here would be enough. Alright. It's going fine. The reason we can't do the last research now, I already started it. And all of these buildings, I'm sure they have, well, at least some of the stuff that they need. We're still requesting some of these, right? But they are also requesting data cubes. And the problem with that is that we really don't have any of those. Where do we get them? Well, we can mouse over here, press I, and sort of see not a lot. Research. We can see here, located in ruined structures throughout the world. It's as if we have no other way to get those other than find them out there. That's what the cup robot is for. Well, once he's built anyway. Oh, that's no problem. It just looked a little short while as if these guys just couldn't figure out how to mine stuff. But it's just, you can't see the mining laser when you zoom too far out. I'm happy with that. Good swig of water. I guess if so many of these machines here are bopping up and down, that means they are really going. We aren't as such crystal limited. No, it doesn't seem like it. I'm not gonna peel off crystal miners just on that behalf, but oh, suddenly we stored 3 lots here, right? Yeah, everything is transport limited by this guy here. But I don't think that by the time he delivers and is driving back to fetch more, that they can even fill up the storage. Maybe in rare cases, like 2 spots here, that's fine. But they won't be having filled 4. Maybe it can happen by accident at times, but I'm not sure that they could outperform his ability to move all the resources. Look, now it's completely empty. That's how slow it can go sometimes. We're just lacking metal, and I can't build more bots without any metal. And this guy is needing... He's working as fast as... Oh, we should set up more of this, right? Maybe that was really also what we were doing up here anyway. So let's continue building what we had going. What we need for this is 2 of these. And we should have that stored, that much I know. Also, this guy needs the behavior controller, and these guys now need to be set to only item transporters, and this arrow needs to go the other way. It is there, and what we need here is the request for behavior with a wait time of 30 seconds, right? Anything else I've forgotten? This guy needs to store here. Alright, I think what we got here is exactly all we need. So now we can go into buildings and create a new one from my selection. This is Super Fabricators Mark 1. You might not know what's coming, but it can be even better than what we have. Still, I'm happy with this, and I think it's time to set... Oh, you know, we can build them first. Like this. You know what we're going to store? I can tell you. We want to store these guys. And they are made from one single thing. This one. So, it turns out we need this. And 80 of them. And, you know, I don't see why we couldn't just get started. New building. I want my Super Fabricators Mark 1 over here. All of these are ready, so I can select every building right here. Deselect this and this and this, so I can only have the fabricators, right? And now I know the visual register is already primed and ready for fabricating these. And now we're off to the races. There's not even enough resources for everyone. But we're in no hurry, right? With that, I know that I can mark this building for deconstruction. We're not ready with the next one yet, but I do know that this is the sort of material I want to create here. And the last one is going to be the sand. Good. So clearly sand 40, and clearly these plates 40. Yeah. I'm ready. Copy this building, place it everywhere. Hmm. There's a funny issue with the way requests exist in this game, and I'm not sure that any sort of known fix even exists. But did you see what happened? This runner, he took one of these sand piles from here over to there. And that's of course because this building is requesting, and this building is on network 1 and may request things without it having to be item transporters. The only item transporter thing is reserved for all these other buildings here. But what that means is that if either of these buildings are not full, they will actually sort of keep stealing from each other, which is definitely not what we want. The little delay, of course, sort of means that we are, yeah. The little delay means that they won't steal too fastly from each other, but it's still gonna create a little weird dance for all of them. I don't know if you... Oh no. Oh no. You know what we could do? We could do nothing. Oh no. Oh no. The problem over here is that all of these buildings, good as they are actually too big. We have to sort of make an exception over here. Is T-Constructor coming? I hope he is. Right. We instead need the little building. Oh no. This one here can be aborted. I hope Roomba, yeah, he's coming. He will pick stuff up in good time. Oh yeah, he will wait. He will have a long delay between deconstructions. That's not a problem, not at all. It's fine. Waiting for metal. Oh, look, only now are we actually getting that robot that I wanted to build. I'm not sure this episode is going to be long enough for the expedition to really start. But whatever the case, it is going to start with this guy. We're doing wind power, and that's good because we're not keeping up with power. I can see that this guy has trouble storing, or starting the storage. How about all these guys here? Oh, they are empty. I should build a power warning sign detector thingy at some point. You know, we should move this stuff over here, right? And then this building here should instead have one single fabricator. That's not a lot, it really isn't. fuck with you. It's this building here, it's this building here, so I'm not sure that there's a better way. Just so much of these stored. You know, I could just stop this guy. If the beacon is dead, then, you know, these guys can't, they can produce from what they have, but that's it. So storage stuff over here. I'm just chaining storages together and giving all the runners a little workout, and now the Roomba can store some more stuff again. Okay, produce this. The problem we had before was that this guy actually didn't even have space to store these things. Oh, I don't even want that. Unfix the slot and lock it. And it's storing, and just so we're clear, only item transporters, right? Right. Now I dare set this everywhere. Okay. Is Roomba ferrying? I believe he is. Yeah, so we can't research. What's number one? That's the scout. You know, I'm happy with him staying over here. What's number two? Oh, that was my miner. I think I can repurpose Mark II, and this was the army. And number four, no, number 10, what was that? Oh, that was the scout 2, so number 1 is even repurposed. Now, Cup, you are number 1. Scout 2. That's gonna be his job. We're making more wind power. Eventually, all of this should expand. In rhythm with us getting the resources we need. And actually, these things were really what we were needing. But you know what? These things are not made of. They are not made of this, so... You know, I should... Yeah. Yeah, can we please put that over here? And they know all... Everyone have stored what they needed. Like, they are only carrying... Yeah, that looks good. Let's move this over. Okay. Now, in time, with us getting the sand we need, and that's not gonna go fast. I mean, with 4 bots, that's still plenty fine. We're soon running out even, because we're overspending so much. Sand is used for a lot of stuff. But these things, relying on sand, now wind power relies on sand, actually. That's interesting. Not a problem, but good to be aware. Look, we're out of power. Even with, you know, almost 5 times as much power as we started with, we're still running dry. Each of these produce 50. More in the summer. One of these produced 50 as well. So actually at this time, solar panels are even better. I think I'm happy to expand with the new row down here. And that needs to take a while. I don't see any way around it. But you know, as we get solar, it's fine. Oh, and we had some stored over here, right? Yeah. Oh, 3 of them should be built right now. That should give us 100 per building, so 300 more power. It's just maybe enough to carry us through the challenges. Oh, but all of that can be built on its own without me staring at it, right? I think that we're pretty much was well ahead of this episode as can be. I think these resources really just need to stack up. And these spots will begin mining up here. Is the next outpost ready? Not quite, but you know I can put this here, and then we are. That's gonna be the next place to store metal, because in not very long time now we're gonna run out completely. Anyway, I'll leave the base for now. It is gonna recover. It's not It's a big resource drain, actually. Even with the wind power blasting away, we're still not charging up. I should stop producing anything at this time and just let everything stock up. Because once all the storages are full, we will stop producing. Like these buildings here, they are not running right now. Simply because their outputs are full. And every building that stops producing will also stop consuming power. We still need a lot of these apparently, and have you used all of that? Seems like it. Man, I am perplexed. That's fine. Anyway, I would just say thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Next time, I really want to get my scout army going and try to explore the world, because we're stuck. We can't advance this until we find these robotic basic cubes out there somewhere in the world. Maybe here, I wouldn't know. Not yet. We will eventually, though. So, for now, goodbye.